Hey guys, today I want to show you how to get more from your mixing, more out of your console, no matter what console it is. This will work. It's all about sub-busing, grouping things together, and having more EQ, more compressor capability, and doing a lot of different stuff with that as opposed to just using a DCA group. So I have Cubase running here. It's just playing a track that's going into input 1 on my console. And input 1 right now is being sent over to my left-right. And when I pot it up, it comes out of the speaker. Okay. For this, we do not want to send to the left-right bus. As you see, when I turn this up, we get signal. And that is happening because we have this switch turned on here. Under the main bus, this is on all X32s, and this is on every single console. You might just have to dig through the menus. But when you select the channel, if you have the main left-right bus selected, it's going to go to your main left-right fader. And we're going to deselect that. And now when I pop this channel up, you're going to see nothing. It doesn't go anywhere. And if we send it to a bus first, and then we send the bus to the left-right, then we'll be layering this channel, and we can group this channel with multiple vocals, with drum set, with guitars, keyboards, whatever you want. But I'm going to show you what capabilities you get out of that and why it's better than a DCA group. So I'm going to send channel 1 post fade to a bus, and the reason why it has to be post fade is if it's pre-fade and you on your main layer and you pot this down, it's not going to change anything because it's just going to send to your sub bus and it's going to be pre-fade. So it doesn't matter if this fader's down or up, it just cares if it's muted or not. So we want post fade, and on this console it comes stock bus 9 through 16 come already post fade. And the way I know that is because I'm selecting on channel 1, and if I hit bus 1 through 8, these little pre-lights come on, and that means it's pre-fade. 9 through 16 are post fade. You can change this. I'm not going to go through this tutorial, but I just use 9 through 16 for this video because it's nice and quick. So I'm going to send channel 1, input 1 to bus 9, and then bus 9 I'm going to send to that left-right bus. So I select channel 1, I turn off the left-right bus. Now I'm going to send channel 1 to bus 9. The way I do that is I select bus 9, select sends on fader. So now my sends to bus 9 are on the faders here. And when I pop this up, I have now just sent this channel 1 to bus 9 because I have it selected. As you see, bus 9, I'm selected here. Bus 9 selected, and sends on fader is on. I'm going to turn that off so I don't keep messing with that. And just so you see, actually, I'm going to turn it back on. The fader goes down when I turn it off because I'm not on the sends on fader anymore. Now I'm going to pot up bus 9. It's my master for that input. I'm going to pot this input up, and you'll see we have signal here. It's still not going to go to your left-right because we haven't turned on the main left-right bus button for that bus yet. So I'm going to lower the volume so that we don't blow our faces off. Hit this button. I'm going to select my bus. Hit this button, main left-right bus. I'm now sending this bus to the main left-right bus. So I'm basically just layering things here. And the capability to get out this is amazing. So potting it up now. You see it's going signal into here, to this fader. And you see it here, coming out of the speaker. Now, I'm going to turn this down, the main left-right, so we don't have to hear it. But I want to show you guys what you get out of this. So what you get is, on our inputs, you might have your EQs, you might be doing all this crazy, wacky stuff. It doesn't matter. And you have all this stuff, and then you realize, man, I'm just not getting the sound I want, or, you know, I need some subtle differences and stuff. And you're just, you know, you're working with only 4 bands here. And we have a lot of gear that does a lot more than that. So why don't we get more out of this system? The way you can do that is now I can do even more EQ on my sub bus. So I'm on bus 9. I select that, and you'll see if I turn the EQ on, I have even more EQ. And I'm going to make sure that you guys see that this actually does work by turning it up. We have the EQ that I set here, as you see. If I turn it off, I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to do all my changes on the bus now. I'm going to turn it off. And now I can layer them. This is my channel EQ, and this is my bus EQ. And now you see that I just layer them. So I just actually gave myself, and if you look on the bus, on the X32 specifically, but this is on every console, they have a certain amount of bands. This one happens to have 6 bands. Certain consoles have 4, 8. This one on the bus side has 6 bands. I know it's hard to see, but it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can control 6 different bands along with the input side, which has 4 bands. This is now 10 bands, and if this is my main vocal, my main singer, a guitar I'm having troubles with, I have a lot more capability with this EQ. Along with that, I have a compressor as well. Same thing on the bus. I'm on the bus 9, and I have a compressor here, and I can turn this compressor on. I can hit it super hard, and you see, now I'm compressing. And what that's really cool for is layering stuff, guys. If you're doing vocals and you have 8 vocals here, I can send all these vocals over to bus 9. Very easy. Select, sends on fader. You see one's up. Well, let's turn them all up. I would do this, of course, make them all the same. Then I would turn off sends on fader. Important thing is to make sure you're not sending these inputs to the left, right, because then you're just sending your pre-sub bus, technically. You'd be sending the same signal twice. So select, turn off, select, turn off. And you can do this on every console. And this is the way you get really good mixes out of your drums, your guitars, your keyboards. You group them together. You can do some subtle EQ on everything as a whole if you just don't like how everything's working together as an instrument. All vocals are instrument. All the drums can be one instrument. These things have to be looked at this way. And then you can do compressors on each individual channel a little harder, get rid of those crazy variants. Then on the sub bus, you can do a very soft compressor. Very soft knee, maybe a long attack, a longer release, and get that studio quality on your live mixings, your live recordings, whatever it might be. You can do a lot with this type of technique. A DCA group really only gives you volume control on the bus. It doesn't allow all these extra features and stuff. The important thing to remember with this is to make sure that your bus is not sending out of any of your outputs on the back. So if I had something plugged into bus 9, specifically on this console I don't have 9 outputs, but if I were to route something to bus 9, and then I had like a speaker plugged into that, this mix would come out of that speaker. So that would not work. You would want to make sure, even in my case, if I'm doing a show, I'll go to my routing page. I'll go to out 1 through 16. Since I'm using bus 9 as a sub bus, I would honestly just turn it off. And now this is not going to be routed out of any of my XLR ports. I know for a fact it's going to be held just within the system here. And that's going to be my little sub bus. I would label it vocals, do what I need to do, drums and guitars and so on and so forth. And then you can kind of just live on whatever layer you make and just do all your mixing here. You don't need the DCA group necessarily. That can be used for other things, but this is just a great way to get a lot of versatility out of all your mixes. Every single console I do this on, I'll do it for corporate events, any sort of talking. It could be for, obviously instruments. This can be used for everything because it just gives you so much control. A great way to use this technique too is with your vocal mic. I find it best to do a lot of my overall system optimization. After I've done the speakers and everything, I'll do system optimization on just the vocal sub bus, get that sounding really good with my vocal, and make, some subtle changes, not huge changes, of course, because it's not going to be my vocal on stage. But when someone has that microphone on stage, they can get the best out of their voice because I've already got it to sound good with my voice. So it's probably going to sound pretty good with their voice. And then I do all my big, huge changes on their vocal. So the sub bus is like subtle changes, get it nice and good, pretty good for everybody. So when they walk up, they sound great from the start. Now let's dig in, let's figure out what the hell's going on and make them sound even better. That's the way I look at it. This is a phenomenal way to do it. It's great for front of house mixing. You can't do this for monitor engineering because you're not going to be sending sub buses out of your auxes. That you can't do that way. But this is a great way to do things. On my next video, I'm going to show you how to run everything through a matrix, which gives you more versatility with your system optimization. So please take a look at that. Thanks for watching, guys, and please subscribe if you found this helpful. Thank you.